Well, breaking to you now, Times Now has interrogation details of the Pakistani terrorist Sajjad. Sajjad has confessed that the LET had planned to set up hideouts in Rafiabad and receive other Lashkar groups. Pradeep is on the phone line with more details on this. Yes, Pradeep, give us more details on what the interrogation report of this terrorist talks about.
See, the startling revelation has been made by Sajjad during the interrogation. He is the drug and Lashkar terrorist who was caught live during the Rafiabad encounter. One thing is quite clear, that the people who are just being into the Lashkar training camp, most of them belong to the poor background, and they also have a criminal background, as we have seen in case of Sajjad. Sajjad was 16-year-old when he was working as a truck conductor. That was the time when he had killed one person, and he was in jail for 2 years. After that, he was into drugs and other things. He was also a drunkard. He had an illicit relationship with a woman. And from there, Lashkar training camp, he had the three kinds of training, which he has revealed that the place where he was going a guerrilla warfare training, there were about 40 to 45 other terrorists who had been trained. This was not the first time when he tried to sneak into this side of the border to destabilize peace in the region. Earlier also, last year from the Cham sector, he tried to cross over to this side, but because of the bad weather and not having a proper guide on this side, they could not penetrate into this region. And finally, just 2 days back from the Uri sector, they crossed over to this side. He said that they were tasked to establish a hideout in Rafiabad, where they had to receive the other Lashkar groups
Pradeep, as far as specific intelligence inputs are concerned now, in the larger picture of things, most terrorists who are caught don't really, fit into the larger picture, but they do help the army as well as security forces establish, details in terms of where are the new hideouts of terrorists, which are the areas that they were planning to really target with these strikes. So are those kind of details also coming out now?
Yes, it nails Pakistan's lies completely, exposes Pakistan's plan, because it clearly says they were asked to establish a hideout in the Rafiabad forest area, and from where they had to keep a close eye on the army movement as well as the army installation, and they were asked to carry out on this army installation and inflict heavy casualty. Besides this, they had also to contribute certain youngsters so that they can lure them to the gun culture. He was here tasked to for 2 years. After that, he had to go back to Pakistan, from where his mission was to mission Palestine. He had to fight against the Israeli troops. So Lashkar-e-Toiba is not only planning to carry out terror activity and destabilize peace in India, it is also linked with other terror activities, carry out attacks against the Israel army in Palestine.
Right, Pradeep, thanks very much for joining us with those details. That's the latest that we're getting as far as the interrogation report of this Pakistani terrorist is concerned. We understand that he has confessed to the Lashkar that he'd planned to set up hideouts in Rafiabad and receive other Lashkar groups. The report also highlights essentially that most of these terrorists who are sent across the border come from economically poor backgrounds.